There are moments when a woman looks around at her own life and quietly wonders, where did I go? Nothing may be obviously wrong. Her life may still look full, responsible, productive, even good. But somewhere inside, she knows she has become a little harder to find. Hi, friends. I am so glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about something I hear from women again and again. I don't feel like myself anymore. Sometimes they say it after a major life change, but sometimes there has been no single dramatic event. They just simply notice that the clothes in their closet don't feel like them anymore. The creative supplies have not been touched. The interests they once had have slowly slipped away. And they can't quite remember the last time they chose something simply because it delighted them. I do not believe that means you've lost yourself. I think it may mean that parts of you have not had enough room to breathe. So today, I want to share 7 signs that you may be ready to begin coming back to yourself. Not by turning your whole life upside down, but through small, meaningful choices that help you feel present inside your own life again. The first sign is that you have started saying, I don't even know what I like anymore. I know I can relate to this a lot. This often happens after years of making decisions around other people's needs. What will the family eat? What does everybody else want to do? What is appropriate? What is affordable? What is practical? None of these questions is wrong. But when they become the only questions we ask, our own preferences can become very quiet. And eventually, when someone asks what we want, we genuinely don't know. The way back does not begin with finding one enormous passion. It begins by rebuilding your ability to notice preference. Which flower catches your eye? Which cup do you reach for? What color makes you linger? Preference is not frivolous. It is one of the ways we recognize ourselves. The second sign is that almost everything you choose has become practical. Practical clothes, practical shoes, practical furniture, practical routines, practical use of your time. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with practicality, because we need it. But a life built only around usefulness can begin to feel strangely colorless. Sometimes the question is not, do I need this? Sometimes the question you should be asking is, does this bring me alive? You do not have to abandon practicality. You simply need to let delight have a vote again. The third sign is that you keep noticing color, but rarely allow yourself to choose it. You admire that bright scarf. You stop beside the purple flowers. You save pictures of colorful rooms. You notice the women wearing the unusual glasses. But when it's time to choose for yourself, you return to what feels safe. I find that fascinating because attraction often appears before permission. Something inside you notices what it needs before your practical mind agrees. You do not need to cover yourself in every color of the rainbow tomorrow. I want to task you to begin with one color you can't stop noticing. Bring it into your day, and then pay attention to how you feel. The fourth sign is that you miss being creative, but you keep waiting for inspiration. Maybe you think you need more time. a cleaner room, a better idea, the right supplies, a full afternoon with no interruptions. But creativity does not usually return because the conditions become perfect. It returns because we begin with one mark, one stitch, one photograph, one flower placed in a vase, or one page opened. Creativity is not only about producing art. It's a way of having a conversation with yourself. And if that conversation has been quiet for a long time, it may feel awkward at first. That's all right. You're not trying to make something impressive. You're making contact. So, the fifth sign may be uncomfortable to admit. You feel a flicker of envy when you see another woman being fully expressive. She's wearing those interesting glasses. She travels alone. She paints. She changes her hair. She says what she thinks. She seems free. Envy is not always evidence that we are petty or ungrateful. Sometimes it's information. It may be showing us something we have not allowed ourselves to claim. Instead of judging that feeling, ask, what permission has she given herself that I may be withholding from myself? This question can open a very important door. The sixth sign is that your life looks fine, but you feel dimmer inside. This is difficult to explain because nothing may be obviously wrong. You may be grateful for your life. You may love the people in it. You may recognize all the good around you and still feel as though the lights have been turned down inside. Gratitude and longing can exist together. Wanting to feel more alive does not mean you are rejecting the life you have, but it may mean that you're ready to participate in it more fully. You are allowed to want more expression, more beauty, and more creative energy without needing your life to be broken first. The seventh sign is that small things have started calling to you. A color, a book, a class, a place you want to visit, a creative project, a piece of fabric, a flower, a new idea that keeps returning. We often dismiss these things because they do not appear to be important enough. But I think our inner lives often speak quietly. Not with the 5-year plan, with a nudge, a preference, a curiosity, a repeated action. You do not have to understand the entire message. You only have to notice the invitation. Coming back to yourself does not mean becoming the woman you were 20 or 30 years ago. You have changed. You have lived. You have lost things, learned things, survived things, and become wiser. The goal is not to travel backward. It's to bring your forgotten parts forward. The curious woman, the creative woman, the woman who chose beauty, the woman who trusted her preferences, the woman who knew how to delight herself without needing a reason. She does not need to replace the responsible woman you have become. They can sit beside each other. That is what wholeness really looks like. not choosing one version of yourself over another, but making room for all of them. Here's the practice I would love for you to try this week. Every day, ask yourself 3 questions. What caught my attention today? How did it make me feel? What is one small way I could respond? Maybe a color catches your eye. Wear it. Maybe you keep thinking about painting. Start with one mark. Maybe you want flowers. Bring home one stem. Maybe you miss the ocean. Take a walk near the water or sit quietly and listen to the sound of it. Okay, so don't turn this into another assignment. This is not about doing it perfectly. It's really just about learning to hear yourself again. If you recognize yourself in these signs, I want you to know this. You have not lost yourself. You are still there. And you do not need a dramatic reinvention to begin returning. Start with what catches your attention. Start with one color, one choice, one small act that feels personal and alive. And if you would like a gentle place to begin, I created this free soul color quiz to help you discover the emotional color energy you may be craving in this season of your life. This is not traditional color analysis. It will not tell you what you should wear, but it is designed to help you notice what may be asking to come forward. You will find the link below. And before you go, leave me a comment and tell me which of these 7 signs felt most familiar to you. Until next time, keep noticing what your soul is reaching for.